Greetings, folks, and welcome back. Today we are going to do a tour of Beaver Branch Disc Golf Course. This is the front nine. Hole number 1 starts behind house of 473, behind the pool, behind the fence. Hole 1 is going to start off as an open hole. It's both a blue and gold hole, and it is 381 feet. So as you see this, we have 4 separate courses here. Some holes have different tee pads, some holes have different pin placements. This one has 1 tee pad, 1 pin placement. So at 381, you want to throw some type of driver, and really it's a nice little warm-up hole. Play for that 3, take your 3 shots, get in there, and walking over here behind the pine trees to hole number 2. Hole number 2 is 252. So you want to take either a mid-range or a fairway driver, or if you're really talented, you could use a putter. I'd suggest some type of stable putter because you don't want to go to the right here. But it's at 252. It's a right-hand, backhand hyzer shot. And then we're off to hole number 3. Hole number 3 is from over there to the right of the screen porch, and it wraps around to the right. So it dog legs to the right over to this basket here. And here's a look at hole 3 from the tee pad. It measures at just over 200 feet. That's a Mando on that tree there. You have to go to the left of it as we're going here. And you want to wrap yourself up around here. So you want, if you're left-handed, you want something that'll hyzer for you. If you're throwing backhand, you want to throw something unstable, a mid-range or a putter. And you want to try to break it and get yourself in the circle, hopefully getting warmed up here for a birdie. Trekking it over here, a couple paces to get to hole 4 tee pad. Hole 4 is 200 feet. There are 2 separate pins here. You'll be able to see the blue and red pin, which is straight ahead, kind of shining in the light there. So it's kind of a backhand, very slight hyzer, almost a straight shot. And here we are coming to it on the green. That is the red and blue pin. And the gold and white pin is located off to the right. So you'd actually have to throw something a little bit more stable and maybe skip just a tiny bit over to the right to try to get yourself a putt. But I think the trick is throwing the same shot for either of those pins. Walking across the driveway and the pond are OB, specifically pavement is OB. This is old hole 1, now it's hole 5. It has 2 different pin placements. The blue pin is just across the pond, past the little sand trap. Now the pond plays OB, and pavement to the right also plays OB. If you go out of bounds, you have the option to go to a drop zone, which is about a 40-foot putt, which is right about where we're standing there. That's a look back at the hole. This is sitting at around 220-ish. So you could throw a putter or a mid-range fairway driver. And then this is at like 328, I believe. It's over 300 feet to get to the gold long basket, which is just a little bit, which is a little bit over 100 feet past the short pin. You turn around here and we're walking back, and this is hole number 6. Hole number 6 is 240 feet, and it is a right hand, backhand, anhyzer shot back over the pond and down the hallway into the woods. So if you look at it from this angle, zooming out here, you're going to throw it from here over the pond, and you'll see this nice little hallway. We'll zoom into it. You could throw a flick shot. If you are left-handed, you could throw a nice hyzer shot, maybe something that straightens out for you after you get around the gap over the pond. And here we are on the other side of the pond, looking back at the tee, and now looking kind of down what I call the hallway here. Cleared out a lot of the stuff on the right to try to make a little nicer landing area. There is a drop zone here if you go OB in the pond, and that puts you at about, I want to say 110 feet or 100 feet from the basket. It's a pretty good pitch up, but it keeps the flow of play going. And now we're walking over to hole 7. So those used to be holes 1 and 2, now they're 5 and 6. This used to be 3, and now it is hole number 7. Welcome to 2020. Hole 7 is 204 feet. It has a Mando on the left to help protect the house that is located on the left. So you go around that tree there. There's a small gap. You hit the gap right hand, backhand with a hyzer and let it break naturally. And at 204 feet, it slightly goes downhill. There is a drop zone if you miss the Mando, where you can shoot your circle 3 from. Again, all the drop zones here at the branch are to keep the flow of play going. You get penalized anyway, so why not just, keep it rolling. There's hole 7. You're going to take a left and walk up to the tee pad, which is up by the driveway of that building, which is 475. So you're looking at 228 for the blue pin and 317 here on a tight gap wooded hole. It's pretty much a straight shot, maybe a very slight turnover for a right hand, backhand here. Straight shot with a very slight hyzer for a lefty. And here we are about 1/3 of the way down the hill, down the fairway, and you can see the basket there in the light. That is the red and blue basket, as we will go by it right here. And then we're going to go over the river and through the woods to get to the gold pin. So that's Beaver Branch Creek here. That's where we get the name of the course, Beaver Branch. And this is the gold basket. It is across the creek. The creek does play OB. And during different times of the year, there's more or less water in it. And that is a tricky 3.5 hole. Hole 9 here is a hyzer shot. It breaks really hard to the left, right hand, backhand. If someone had a monster flick turnover, that might be the type of angle that you would need here to get all the way to the pin. There is an OB pond which is roped off. It is currently dry, but what we do is we either play the OB pond or we play the roped area. That was the gold pin. This is the blue pin. The blue pin is just over 200 feet, and it kind of sits up on this hill. And as we come over the crest of that hill, you will see where the low-lying area is here. That has been a pond all spring long. It just recently dried up. And it breaks over to the left. And we'll zoom in on it here to get a look at that pin from here. Not a long hole, but it's really tricky to get it in there. You have to throw some kind of stable mid-range or stable fairway driver is kind of the best way to get there. And this is just a view of the rope area that goes around the pond. Now there is a drop zone on the opposite side, just like all of our ponds, that if you go in the pond, you can shoot from that drop zone, which is at like 35 feet. Here's another look from standing actually in the pond. We look back, you can see the gap you have to throw it out of, and then kind of panning back to the basket, which is located right up here. Here we are on our flyby past the basket. Check out the back nine on a separate video. When you come out of the woods here, you have to make a left and take a nice little walk to get to the tee pad right up there.